My name is Olivia Shaw, also known as Dahlia Black. I'm 23 years old and I am a professional wrestler.
My name is Tasman Bartlett Messina, aka TK Cooper. I'm also 23 and am a professional wrestler.
The South Pacific Power Couple is everything that you hate when you see PDA. We are a disgusting, in-your-face couple, just so into each other that we don't really care about anyone else.
Every cringy Facebook couple post you've seen, every hashtag couple goals, bae goals, we're doing all of it just to death. I want to gross people out when we kiss. I want to piss people off when I punch girls and just have zero repercussions. Just do it, and then all they can do is boo. Yeah, it's just make some kind of like social comment by playing these characters. If you think I'm a good wrestler, but that means you are taking the side of the guy that punches girls, which makes you a bad person, which is funny to me. But then, I love the performing aspect of wrestling. It's just so much fun.
So I did musical theatre. I was a singer, actor, dancer when I was younger. I immersed myself heavily in that. So when my brother asked me to come along, I kind of saw more of the acting side of wrestling, not so much the athletic side.
I just watch how I move and I'm just, it's awful.
So there was an ad in the paper saying that there was a local wrestling show on. I begged my mum to take me and my best friend at the time. It was about an hour's drive just to go see these guys that obviously I had never heard of. As soon as I got old enough to get involved, basically I was at the tryout that day.
At training I met Taz, and I think he played a really big part in me wanting to stick with it, and he played an even bigger part in me actually turning it into a career and making it a really big thing about my life. Wrestling scene in New Zealand is pretty quiet. If you put it into perspective, there's 64 million people living in the UK, and there's 4 million people living in all of New Zealand. So there's just less of everything.
So we did a thing where at Armageddon's, everyone wrote ridiculous moves, like wrestling moves, and put it in a hat. So at these events, we would pull a move out of the hat, and then you would have to like get it into your match somehow. So the matches that we ended up doing were mostly ridiculous. We just were there to have fun. Mainly, we weren't there to become famous or get picked up. We were just there to have fun.
Back home, it's literally it's just for fun, and over here there is people on our level, there's people above us, there's people below us who are doing this full time, which is crazy really. If we told anyone back home that we were full-time wrestlers, they wouldn't
understand.
Yeah.
They wouldn't understand.
It's not a done thing at home. It's literally just a hobby, and over here it's a career. It was always just in the back of my mind that I wanted to go to England because I thought it would be a good hub for traveling to go to Europe, and then just kind of by coincidence, the wrestling ended up getting tied in, mostly because Progress Wrestling put Chapter 13 on YouTube for free, and just by absolute coincidence, I showed it to Liv and I was like, this is awesome. I already want to go to the UK, but I want to get involved in this. Will you come with me? My traveling goal ended up being my wrestling goal, and then I wasn't going to leave without Liv, so I had to make sure she was on board.
We had lots of discussions about it. When he said to me that he originally wanted to move, I think I was very nervous. Like, I had a lot of to and fro with myself, not knowing if I actually wanted to do that. I had, my musical theatre that I was doing. I was doing a few shows at that time. I had a full-time job. I was living in a flat. I had kind of everything sorted, like when you're kind of figuring out what you're wanting to do. But it was such a short-term plan that I think I just turned around to myself and I was just like, you're not going to go anywhere if you just kind of sit here in safe little New Zealand. So I think it took a lot of convincing on your half, a lot of convincing for myself.
We didn't really have too much of a plan coming. It was literally just we wanted to come to England and we wanted to get involved in wrestling. We just didn't really know. We didn't know anybody, so we had no one to put a word in for us. It was literally just off of our own back, asking around and asking how do we get involved here, what can we do.
Went through a really dark stage when we first moved over here. And I did say to Taz so many times, I almost quit, I wanted to go home.
Yeah, there was a lot of times, not a lot of times, but there was like a few close calls where it was just kind of like, we're at the end of our tether, we're on the last handful of cash that we've got, nothing's working out. Maybe this wasn't for us, maybe we should just call our parents and ask for a hand and come home. Yeah. We didn't have a single clue, it was all on essentially a whim that we just wanted. The only thing we had planned was come to England, do wrestling. It was all just take a risk, hope for the best, and that was probably the most worrying thing, was that nothing was guaranteed. It was all just hopefully this works out.
This was Taz's debut. I don't know why I did my hair like that. I was like trying to do like an afro thing.
Yeah, we just kind of stuck it out.
I'm glad we did.
Yeah, I mean, obviously now in hindsight we can be like, we did it, but at the time it was like, this isn't gonna work.
Yeah, it was horrible. It was really, really horrible.
I think initially when we came over and we kind of said to promotions, the gimmick is that we're together, and they kind of went, oh great, we've got a guy and a girl who can be wrestlers. It doesn't matter. Like they kind of just saw us as like two bodies as opposed to
An entity.
this. And it's taken its time for us to kind of establish the gimmick, the brand of the South Pacific Power Couple, I suppose. Of the two of us, it has to be two of us, otherwise it's just not worth your time. It just adds that extra layer of, she's not just my valet, she's actually my girlfriend, and she's not just my girlfriend, she also kicks people's butts if she has to.
This was February.
Yeah,
Valentine's Day
last year,
Yep.
so it came in June, so 6 months, 7 months.
Almost a year, I think. So, which was pretty awesome because we said to ourselves our goal was to be on a chapter match by the time we had left. And this was not my debut. This is Taz's debut, at least. But we'd done it. We had already achieved that first goal, and then after that, it was just ticking the boxes off of the goals that we were achieving.
We had some big goals. We had to, at the time I was like, these goals are ridiculous. Like, I'm never gonna go anywhere near WWE. They're not gonna know who we are. Like this progress people, they won't give a crap who we are and stuff like that. But oh God, we worked so hard to achieve them, and we did, I guess.
So injuries in wrestling, I've got an awesome. I fractured my the left radial head of my elbow joint doing a Phoenix splash, which is it's a half turn into a 450 splash. And basically what happened was when I went to land, I think I was just the spin. I was over rotating, so when I went to catch myself, my arm kind of went, and I won though. So.
It's always something that plays on your mind. I mean, like at our match, not yesterday, but the day before with Matt Riddle, the finish looked pretty steep on Taz, and I thought he had hurt himself. I mean, I had crocodile tears because it's character, but then I started actually panicking, and I was like, fuck, sorry, maybe I won't swear. I was thinking maybe he's actually hurt himself, so I was freaking out. But you talk to each other. You always talk to each other in the ring. So like, after I've taken a big move, I'll always have Taz in my ear saying, "Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay?"
Yeah,
babe?"
I'll always run over because it's just kind of there's part of putting over the move at the same time where it's like like the character's running over there to check on the other character because obviously we're trying to win a fight. But then at the same time, I'm literally leaning in Liv's ear saying, "Are you okay? Like,
Yeah.
Did you get hurt? Are you? Is everything going to plan?"
Yeah.
Basically.
Are you enjoying yourself sometimes?
Yeah.
Going home has been playing on my mind a lot lately. I think it kind of creeped up on us, didn't it? Like suddenly the ball got rolling, we were snowballing and doing such a good job at what we were doing, and then suddenly you've got 6 months left, and then suddenly you've got 3 months left, and then suddenly you have to go home in like 2 months' time and leave everything that we've worked so hard for. It's just kind of feel like we're dropping it, but we have to go home because we're on a 2-year working visa. So we've been looking into other options. There's like a 5-year ancestry visa that I can get because my dad's got a passport, but Taz can't get that one, but because we've been together for a certain amount of time, he can get a spouse's visa. But the whole thing that's really getting me so anxious about it is that there's just so much uncertainty, so much, and like we will only really know how long we'll be away for when we get back home, when we're sitting in the office with the visa people, and then they either say yay or nay. We tick all the boxes, but it doesn't necessarily mean that we'll be back, which is really upsetting.
In order to stay, we have to leave.
Yeah. I just don't know anything. I don't know if I'm going to get a job when I go back. I'm probably going to live with my parents away from Taz, which is really sleeping in the same bed for the last 2 years and then suddenly back in your own single bed.
It's just stressful to think that there's a chance we might not get to come back. As optimistic about it as we are, there's a chance something might come up and we don't get to come back.
I think like another anxiety that I get is going back home and people not realizing how well we've done. Because we know that we've done incredible, we've done amazing. We're wrestling for one of the best companies in the world, one of the best independent companies. I've had a WWE tryout, wrestled at Brixton O2 Academy, which is like a dream venue. I honestly, if my wrestling career ended the day after this match, would have been happy. Of course I want to keep wrestling, but this was like a pinnacle. This was a pinnacle point for me as a female wrestler with my partner doing what I love in front of 2,500 people who love seeing what we do. And it really makes just everything worth it.
With wrestling, it's just kind of like we're finally getting to a point where it's really fun, and it's often
making waves.
Yeah.
We're making really big waves, and it's just like, oh, gone, dropping off the face of the earth.
Or people will just ask where we are, and we just can't reply because we're not coming back, sort of thing. Is like a potential worry.
It's a really strange feeling, being in the ring and like, oh, it's indescribable. I can't explain to you how it feels.
Yeah.
It's like being on the best drug in the world, and it can last weeks.
It just was a dream, and now it's just a real thing. I do it all the time. I'm a wrestler now.
And you're doing it with?
Yeah, with my best friend. 7 weeks. Yeah.
Month and a half. Yeah.
Yeah.
We haven't even bought our tickets back home. It's not something I want to do.
Yeah, we keep putting it off.
Yeah.
The winners of this match, Travis Banks, TK Cooper, the South Pacific Power Trip!
Just said I keep it 100. For the boss takes my cut. Keep it 100. Keep it 100.
Hey, it is May 15th and we are back in New Zealand.
It's literally just started snowing, and yeah, the journey back to England starts here.